Are you trying to lose weight? Are you finding it hard to lose weight because you're always hungry? I'm gonna assume the answer is yes, because you did click on this link after all. So, you're in luck because just so happens this video is about how to lose weight with less hunger. Alright, let's go. Alright, welcome back, guys. Now, if you don't know me, my name's TK. I'm a certified nutrition coach. I've lost over 120 pounds at this point, so I've been there. I know what it's like. And today's video is just a little something I threw together to give you guys some tips on how to deal with hunger better. Chances are you're probably using the most common strategy, which is called the calories in, calories out method. Basically, that just means you're eating less calories than you would normally burn in a typical day. Now, personally, I believe there's much more to losing weight and being healthy in general than just eating less. There is no secret recipe. You have to take an active role in your journey. With that in mind, I'm a firm believer that it's better to create a plan for yourself that is maybe 70% effective, but you could stick to 100% of the time, rather than a plan that's like 100% effective, but you only stick to like 70% of the time. I think a better way to put it is, it's better to be consistently good than great sometimes, right? I also wanted to start the video with a bit of a distinction between the fact that lots of people mistake being full with being satiated. Now, on the surface, they sound like the same kind of thing, and I'm sure the terms get used, like interused constantly and stuff like that, but for the sake of this video, the tips I'm going to give you are going to help you to stay satiated longer. A good distinction between full and satiated is, think of full as where like you're uncomfortable, where satiated, you feel good. Or like when you're full, you might feel like lethargic, where when you're satiated, you feel like you have a lot of energy after you eat. Alright, let's get down to tactics. The first tip I can give, and it sounds kind of like silly, but trust me, this will actually help a lot, is to shift your mindset. Now what I mean by that is, being in a calorie deficit means you're bound to get hungry. What I found is helpful with this is seeing your slight hunger as a positive. Anticipating and embracing your hunger rather than fearing it when it happens will definitely help when it comes to making healthier choices and also instill good habits that would be easy to maintain forever. Now, this next tip is one I'm sure you've heard hundreds of times already, but I'm pretty sure like none of us actually really stick to it that much, but trust me, this one is a big one. And that is that it's really important to drink more water. Our bodies actually can't even differentiate the difference between dehydration and hunger. So if you're chronically dehydrated, you might be feeling hunger pangs when it really is just that you need a glass of water. A really easy way to take care of this is carry water with you. I'm sure everybody nowadays has a water bottle and stuff like that. So if you start feeling like a little peckish, take a few sips of water, let it wait, and I bet you'll be surprised how often where you think that you were really hungry, it turns out you were just actually dehydrated. Now, while we're on the subject of drinking, the next tip is just as important. And that is, don't drink your calories. Now, when I say don't drink your calories, that's because most likely those calories are in the form of sugars. Now, drinking sugar is a bad idea for a lot of reasons. Some basic examples of drinks that have sugar in them are things like soda, juices, and coffees that have a lot of sugar added to them. Now, there's several reasons why you really shouldn't drink calories, but for the sake of this video, it's two major reasons. The first reason is that you're taking in calories that are not going to help you stay satiated. They're not even going to make you feel full for that matter. The second reason is taking in a lot of sugar at once like that is going to cause a big insulin spike, which will ultimately lead to a big insulin crash, which will cause you to get much more hungry, much more quickly, and also give you some really wicked cravings for more sugar, which is carbohydrates. Okay, so I told you not to drink your calories, but when it comes to eating your calories, not all calories are the same. Personally, I strongly recommend staying from what I call like diet foods or fitness foods, things like that. Some basic examples are things like fat-free salad dressing or powdered nut butters like PB2 or protein bars, things like that. Now, the big reason is because they're just not filling. It also doesn't help that they're usually heavily processed and filled with lots of artificial junk in them. Quick rule I do is I flip them over and I look at the ingredients label, and if towards the top of the label, if there's like really long ass scientific-y looking words on them, I don't want it. Another big problem I have with these kind of foods is they're actually designed to keep you wanting to eat more and more. It's bad business for these companies if you actually lost weight. So why would they be giving you things to like help you not need them? What I'd recommend is trying to set up your diet so that it revolves around more of like a whole food approach. And that brings us into our next thing, which is you're most likely eating way too many carbs. Now this is very similar to drinking sugar. Carbohydrates, or carbs, break down into sugar, which in science land we call glucose. And just like those sugary drinks we talked about before, taking in too many carbs will cause that insulin spike, which will cause that insulin crash, which will cause the cravings and the intense hunger. So what I recommend is if you can keep your carb intake low and your blood sugar levels stable, you're not going to find yourself constantly chasing after things or craving things. Now, this next tip is going to sound kind of backwards compared to the other things I was saying, but it's actually, don't fear large meals. The goal should be that you aim for satiety every time you eat. But also keep in mind that every time you eat is an opportunity to overeat. So the next quick tip for that is, slow it down. Our bodies can tell us when it's satiated or full, whichever way you want to go. But there is a delay. And quite often we eat way too fast and end up feeling stuffed. By being mindful of eating slowly, you can greatly reduce the amount of calories you take in a sitting while still feeling satiated or full, whichever way. There are a couple different methods out there that I've tried and they all more or less work. The two that I found that actually do really help is using smaller utensils. Like for instance, if you normally eat soup with a tablespoon, try eating it with a teaspoon. And another easy tip, which I'm sure you've heard before, is like counting how many times you chew. Like have to be like chew 30 times each time, that kind of thing. Just by being mindful of the pace you're eating at definitely help. Alright, so for a quick recap, the basic tips are, shift your mindset. Don't see hunger as a negative thing. Think of it as that you're at that moment, you're actively losing weight. Drink more water. Staying hydrated will be a big help in stopping hunger pangs. Don't drink your calories, because they're going to make you hungrier faster. Not all calories you take in are the same. You should aim for filling, healthy foods. Lay off the carbs, because eating lots of carbs in one sitting is going to cause you chasing more carbs throughout the day. Don't be afraid of large meals, because eating till satiety is a good way to ensure that you don't really get hungry. And slow it down. You know, you're not in prison, at least I don't think you are. You more than likely have more than 5 minutes to sit and eat your meal. So take your time and let your body tell you when it's done. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Now please be sure to hit like and subscribe down below if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more like them. And also feel free to leave a comment if you have any kind of like questions, comments, gossip, doesn't matter. Leave it down there. Alright, till the next one guys. Who's that? Say hello, honey. Hello. He doesn't like this at all.